Hey, hey, I want to talk about the visuals that go into your story. This is the photography aspect of this lesson, and this one of the first basic concepts I want to actually explain, and I want to show you, demonstrate, and then I'm going to have you practice it. So this is something that anybody can learn. It's just a basic approach to your photography that you use with telling your story that can really add a lot of depth to your how you portray your story in your visual, the images that you include with it. Okay, so like in telling and crafting and telling a story that we're writing or actually presenting to an audience, where we have these different elements that come together and we put them together almost like a work of art. That's, the setting, the descriptions, the character, the story arc, and then the theme and lesson learned. There's almost an also a what I would say a template for your visuals too. And you don't have to be an experienced photographer. You can do this just with your camera phone. Try using three different types of shots and combine them together for your visuals that go with your story. Those three basic types of shots are your close in detail, your medium range, and what I also call setting the scene. That's like a 1-to-1 ratio portrait. Okay, so and then the wide shot that encompasses the whole scene of the story. Okay, so I'm going to actually show you examples from a in my own what I recently did as far as a combination of these. They actually show you an example of each one. So I'm going to share my screen for a second. And what I'm talking about, and bring up Lightroom. Here we go. All right. So details details would be something like this. If and this is a series of images that I captured over this past last couple of days on a camping trip here in New Mexico with my dog. All right, so if I'm telling the story about this trip, and the purpose of it was to go out and actually capture some landscape photography, but I want to tell the story about that whole process, I'm going to include, probably to start with, not so much the detail, but more of a medium range type image that sets the scene. Okay, so it gives the audience a frame of reference. So here I am with my dog in our camper. Okay, so that's like what I mean about medium range, setting the scene shot. Another one would be something like this one. It give the audience an idea, okay, where we were and what the conditions were like. And and this is all to enhance the story of these visuals. Another medium range setting the scene shot is actually my camera setup as I'm capturing this landscape scene, and this is in the Rio Grande River Gorge in near Taos, New Mexico. So those would be like examples of setting the scene type shots. Kind of, I say, medium range, almost like, they're not wide angle, they're not telephoto, they're not close in detail, but just more of a one-on-one ratio. Then I want to talk about, if I'm in a story, I go, okay, details. So a detail shot would be something like this. My workspace out in the field and this camper. A detail shot would be, the other character in this story, my dog, Norman, all right, in the camper. And then maybe another detail shot would be one of the images that I actually captured of a close-in subject, this poplar leaf and the grass along the river. Okay, so those little details, that those can add a lot, because details can tell, just as tiniest little details can tell so much about the story and about, this event that you're communicating. And then the wide angle shots would be something like you know, this would be kind of toward the back end of the story where I'm sharing the results of this experience. So this would be like this, in this case, this moon image. I'll put this over here. Moonrise, okay, which was up near Angel Fire, New Mexico. Okay, so that's one of the objectives of the whole trip was to capture these images. The landscape image that I was taking, okay, this is, so this is like, getting that part of the story where I'm sharing all the results. Okay, so there we go. And then another landscape image would be something like this. Okay, so setting the scene, medium range, details of what was actually happening, and then the wide view of the results. So even though this is about a camping trip, you can apply these three basic type shots to your visuals that you use in your story. And when you have a good balance of those three, you provide a great deal of depth to your story. And you see this in just about every good movie that's ever made. Those are the three basic shots the directors go with. All right. So I want you to try this with your phone, just a simple story of something that's maybe going around inside your house or just outside your home, and find little details, things that we may think that aren't a big deal. They really are to the audience because they say so much. And then that medium range shot of setting the scene, and then the wide shot of maybe the home where you live or the place where you're at. The story is taking place. So try that, and you'll find you have a lot of fun and add a great deal of variety to your visuals that accompany a good story.